Hey YouTube, welcome. My name's Leah Lauder and I'm a mega cult survivor, and I spent 18 years in a church, what I thought was a church, and it turned out to be a cult. Yes, you heard me right. I'm on live on TikTok at the same time, and I'm also live on Instagram. Hey Insta, Leah Lauder, mega church cult survivor. So we're live on YouTube, TikTok and Insta all at the same damn time because that's what I do. So today, just a little introduction. Hey Burgundy, I'm going to be saying hi to people on TikTok as well. So take your pick where you want to watch me from, guys. Morning, welcome Insta. I'm back. I had a little break. Guys, I needed a break because of my diagnosis, but I'm not going to talk about it too much on YouTube because I'm going to be doing like an expose on mental health, my my diagnosis. I'm going to be linking it to cult research and how cults kind of rewire the brain and how it leads to us getting personality disorders and mental health. I do have a podcast. I can't remember what it's called though. I set it up a couple of months ago. Do you know what it is, babe? I've just got to get my life sorted out in 2025, and I will. But yes, I'm actually in the process of writing a book, actually. So I'm gonna have a book out in about 3 months. I've given myself that target. So there is going to be a book out. There's going to be a book out and an audio book out as well. And it's going to be helping people to deprogram and deconstruct. And I've started it already, and it's coming along really well. So I can't wait to share that with you all. This is random, but have you heard of cults to consciousness? Do you know how many people have told me about this? All right. So 2025 is going to be the year of me kind of reaching out to these various different platforms and whatever, because I think I'm too nice to reach out to people, but I've got to get out of that chair. So I'm going to reach out to some people, but because of how my mental health is set up, I can only do what I can do. Some days are so bad, babe, honestly, like I'm just in my bed, I can't move, I'm paralyzed physically and mentally. Oh, thank you. Oh, yeah. Oh, someone's going to recommend me. Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate you. So, basically, guys, I want to talk about accountability today. Actually, let me give a little background on me because I think I've got some new people. Then I'm going to go into the topic. So, my name's Leah Lauder. I survived a mega church cult for 18 years. Okay. And they recruited me. Remember, my boyfriend had been unalived in police custody. I was very vulnerable and I was very naive. And I'd been dealing with a lot of unalivement because, I'm a survivor of CCE, that's child criminal exploitation. I've been dealing with a lot of unalivement around me, like people getting unalived and whatever. So there was a lot of just a lot of traumatic experiences by the time I got to the cult. So my brain was kind of like fried. I really did just need mental health support. That's what I needed. And at the time when my boyfriend unalived, I did have mental health support. I had a community care coordinator. I had I had professionals, like a whole team involved with me. But the church was telling me that mental health was demonic. The church was telling me that mental health was EVIL. So they were saying that I shouldn't engage with any of the services, and basically I should just come and keep hearing the word of God. And as I keep coming and keep hearing the word of God, that I will be delivered. I will be delivered from the mental health. So the thing is, in the church cult, they see mental health as like demonic. So the reason why that's dangerous is because there's a lot of people who are in these church cult settings. They've either got a diagnosis, some sort of mental health diagnosis, or they're in there and they're undiagnosed, but they know they've got something because of the trauma. Thanks, my love. They know they've got something because of the trauma, because in these church cults, you guys, it's so rare that you'll find a church full of like professors and like working professionals and experts in the field, especially in psychology. You don't get psychologists in the church like that unless it's a healthy church. Like like you'll get a psychologist in a church, but it will be a healthy church, or it will be something where the church is just like an hour. Yeah, our kids. The thing is, right? Okay, right. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to show YouTube and Instagram this image because I don't know how to put it up behind me. Okay. So what I want to talk about today is I want to talk about accountability. But within accountability, we can't talk about accountability without talking about the recruitment process, and we can't we can't forget to talk about how these pastors are just straight up thieves. Okay. So in my new book, this is fresh off the press. This is a preview. I have created a church cult pyramid structure model. It's the church cult pyramid structure model. And I will be creating 3 of these to document how they recruit, the different levels within the pyramid scheme, and then how they lack accountability through the top heavy structure that they've got in there where it doesn't allow information to flow up and down in the pyramid scheme. The way they indoctrinate you is to have loyalty to the highest authority. Morning, Nels. Hey, Nels. To have loyalty to the highest authority. So it doesn't matter what, and overall, to have loyalty to the cult leader, which is, he makes himself synonymous with God and the cult. Okay, so I'm gonna just pop my phone around. YouTube, say hi to Instagram. You can see this pyramid. This is how the pyramid structure is. Insta, I'm gonna show you. This is the pyramid structure that I'll be talking about. So you've got a basis. Yeah, so we're gonna start. Oh, I don't know if YouTube is this. We're gonna start with the low level. I'm good, my love. I'm good. I'm surviving outside in these streets. All right. So the first layer that we have is the recruitment phase, okay? And the recruitment phase is like the pool of people that are outside, you know, in public, that they say that they're going to do outreach and evangelism. But it's not outreach and evangelism, it's recruitment, because they're going out there with a sole targeted purpose to recruit people into the church cult. I'm going to break this down a little bit more, and I'm not here to demonize evangelism or whatever. When it's done in a healthy way, it's fine. But when they're coercing people and love bombing people and gaslighting people and telling them they're going to go to HELL, they don't really believe anyone's going to, actually, they do in their psyche believe that they're going to go to HELL, but it's so crazy because there's like a breaking in the psyche, because they believe it, but they don't, because they have to use all of the frills and the gaslighting and the manipulation and the deception and to get people in. So what you'll notice when they speak to you is they'll have like an opening liner to speak to you, because going outside, let's just take the church away. Let's take the Bible away. Let's take all of this away. Yeah. Imagine now you're on the street, yeah, and you've got to walk up to someone to speak to them, a random stranger, about Jesus Christ, yeah. It takes a lot of confidence and it takes a lot of like adrenaline that's rushing in you to go and speak to, you know, it's like an adrenaline hit. So when you hear people say, I finally built the confidence to go on outreach, yeah, because it's nuts. It's absolutely crazy. Like you're going, and the way they do it is also mad. And the thing is, guys, you know, the times that we're living in is so dangerous to just be going on the street and just be talking to people. You don't even know people ain't okay in this time. Everyone's battling. Hey, Cutie. Everyone's battling with their mental health, different things. So I don't even think it's safe for people to be on the street, especially young people and children. So let me strip it back. In my cult, they would say to us, don't bother speaking to anyone over 25. Just speak to kids, because basically you can't teach an old dog new tricks. So they really do target young people. Then we see that they have church cults on university campuses. So when you see a church cult, a supposed church that's got a branch on campus or branches on campus, I would run. Because that pastor's a thief. He's targeting vulnerable children and young people. Guys, do you know what that's like? You have to think it's giving discrimination, it's giving prejudice. Why don't they want to recruit old people or older people? Because we're woke. The younger people, they're naive. And another thing is, younger people have energy. So in these cults, they need you to be high function, but they need you to do the work. You know, I was sitting down and I was reflecting on this the other day. My daughter's just come back from her, they take them on them residentials. She just come back from one of the guys. I thought she'd be flat out, like tired, because she's 11. This girl wanted me to take her to go and get matcha coffee. She wants to go out and get this. The child's just come back on Friday. The energy that kids have, and like young people, their energy. So I think they siphon energy in there. I think the cult leaders siphon energy, and a lot of the time they're old, they're cracking. So the reason why these older pastors are looking youthful and vibrant, because they're always around young people all the time. If anyone's a youth worker or works with young people and children, don't you always remember your youth worker back in the day when you used to go to the youth club? You probably didn't realize at the time because you thought they were so much older than you. They probably were, but they always look young. Don't youth workers always look young? They'll be like 30, 35, looking 25, because we're working with the young people. We're in sync with, you know, the young people's lingo, like what's going on, you get me? Like we have to stay cool. Do you get what I'm saying? To appeal to the young people, so we stay youthful. But with these cult leaders, there's a lot more spiritual dark practices and just straight up dark witchcraft that they be doing up in there, because they're doing a lot of declarations, they're doing a lot of spell work. And you know, I've kind of gone into the different types of witchcraft and practices that they use, and I'm not here to demonize witchcraft, but I'm here to expose the dark practices that they do up. So if you're interested in finding out more about how Pentecostalism is a new age religious movement, and I call it new age Christian new religious movement, you can go onto my video on YouTube called Exposing Pentecostalism and Spiritual Darknesses and Practice. All right, let me go to the comments. Some people might even send you hospital, not gonna lie. Oh, what do you mean? What, because of, yeah. Do you mean turn you, just make you go MAD? Yeah. Yeah. A lot of people, it has, babe. That's what's happened. It's just a miracle that I haven't lost my mind. I've had a lot of breakdowns and psychotic episodes. And, you know, obviously now I've got a diagnosis and things like that. But do you know what I think? I don't even know what's helped me, guys. That's why I can't say that I don't believe in God. Do you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, the grace of God is strong upon my life. There's no denying it. Do you know what I mean? Like, their shots, they feel like they've seen a ghost. Michael, they can't believe it. They always underestimated me. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm coming back with vim, man. They're gonna hear about me until the day I unalive. Did they say anything non-Christian? Do you know what? I'm just gonna block you because I'm not feeling the vibe, and you sound indoctrinated. When you know how you can tell someone's indoctrinated because they try to ask smart questions. Like, what I need you to understand is these people are so sly because their pastors are sly and their pastors are liars. So they're so used to lying. They're so used to being sly, you know, to lying, just there's so much deception in the church. There's so much deception. There's so much lies. There's so much cover-ups. There's so much, and this is the problem. Like, this guy from Caris has done a video saying that every day we're talking about church cults. And basically it's that I think he's trying to talk about accountability, that we lack the accountability. So I didn't even hear his whole video. He's so slow. He talks like this, as like in slow motion. So I couldn't understand what he was talking about. And the thing is, when you're in a cult, your brain starts to get rewired. Guys, like up the live, please, because I don't have any of my mods on here. Yeah, speaking in 0.01%, Jar. Do you know what I mean, Nels? I'm struggling to retain and process what he's saying because it's just given SLOW. Do you know what I mean? Like a snail. And you know, this guy's blocked me off every single one of my accounts to go and make this video. Luckily, I got a burner account. So people have been sending me the video, but I haven't had access to it. So my thing is, basically, when you're in these church cults, your brain gets rewired and you do get slow. That's why when you're speaking to someone from the mega church cult, it's like banging your head against a brick wall because you can't get through. Do you know what I mean? They're so brainwashed that you could, guys, you know how brainwashed they are? This is the kind of things they do. I'm going to give you an example. So you see how the sky is blue? How they manipulate you, and they use a lot of mystical manipulation and twisting scriptures and things like that. They'll say, okay, the sky is blue. So this is the pastor preaching. For years, you have seen that the sky is blue. Yes, you see the sky is blue. But when you start to soak in the messages and you start to read prophets' books, what you will see is that you are open to a new realm. You start to see like prophecies. There are different... There are different dimensions and levels into the Spirit of God. There are different levels. There are different heavens. The seventh heaven. And what you will see is that the skies always look blue. But when you look at the sky and you catch the anointing and you listen to the word and you are soaking in the message, when you look at the sky, the Lord will take the veil off your eyes and open you up. And then you will see that the sky is actually turquoise. It's actually turquoise. It's actually turquoise. The reflection of the sun on the axis of the earth tilted with the different seven heavens of the layers of the parallels of the different dimensions of the heavens. You will see that where the throne of God is, there is the reflection of the light from the sun, where the Lord will now shine his light upon the sky and you will see the turquoise. So in fact, all of the many, because remember that the way is broad to hell. So those will be seeing the sky as blue. But you as the chosen, the few, that where it is narrow, you go through the narrow gates, the narrow path. What you will see is that now you are seeing the sky is turquoise. Come in, love. You're seeing that the sky is turquoise. It's not blue. So you have been elevated to a level where you are now an ambassador of Christ. Because now he is opening your eyes to see that the sky is turquoise. It is not, in fact, blue. So this is the type of This is the type of manipulation and the type of gaslighting that happens. Burgundy, I'm gonna make you a mod. Cutie, are you on deck? Because these trolls, they're way too active for my liking. Burgundy, I've made you a mod, so just block them up for me, girl. Just we're not, you know, if you just sniff it out and you just feel it's off, just block them up because we ain't got time for that today. So basically, there's a lot of manipulation and gaslighting in these church cults, and you've got these pastors, they're absolutely crazy. Do you know what I mean? I've been seeing so many crazy videos. There's this pastor, he's apparently a controversial pastor. He's just done some, I don't know, is it Photoshop or AI? I know, I was in the cult for 18 years, but he's trying to say that he's levitated off the stairs because, you know, Jesus walked on water. So you can't see his face, but you just see his feet walking down the stairs. And then it's like the second step, it's like almost like he's flying. And, you know, guys, when I saw the video, I just thought it's so ridiculous. Like, these pastors could come and do anything with a little bit of, you know, like Photoshop. And these indoctrinated members, did you see it, Beverly? These indoctrinated members will be lapping it up. Oh, my pastor had, because they, do you know why these pastors are doing these things? Because they know that these people are so naive, they're so vulnerable, they're so brainwashed, they know what they're doing, man. They're just speaking lies, they're deceptive, they're coming in because they're dealing with very vulnerable, desperate people, guys. Like that guy who spoke on the video, like, they just keep coming out and proving my point. Like, there's just so many washed up men, like, in these church cults. Like, do you know what? That's why I didn't get married in there. I recruited my husband from the outside. Do you get what I'm saying? I weren't trying to do up, you know, this washed up. OMG, I tried to block her. Then I was like, damn, I ain't a mod. Yeah, girl, block her up, block them up, man. Yeah, no, it is. Do you know what, babe? Like, I'm just responding to some of the comments on TikTok. It's absolutely crazy. I can't lie to you. Like, these fake pastors are absolutely out of control. But you have to remember that these pastors are very, very manipulative. They're very, very manipulative, guys. So what they will do is, and this is what you'll notice with Christendom, is they're all like broken up. There's no like there's no unity, there's no togetherness in Christendom, right? And you have to remember, guys, they are coming in here and teaching us. They're supposed to be teaching us how to be more Christ-like. But you lot can't even come together as a church and be united. It's all broken up. Do you know why, guys? Because it's just all a bunch of egotistical, malignant, narcissistic, patriarchal men in these positions whose ego is so huge. Oh no, I'm supposed to put this up. Their ego is so huge that they will never ever admit that they're wrong. They will never. And this is the thing, guys, you know, like now they're getting exposed, their tactics. I know they're finding it hard to outreach. They're finding it hard. It's not like, you see, if before they could go out and they could get like 10 people, they're noticing that they're getting more resistance. And my moles have been telling me that as well. Oh, I'm going to answer your question, Arkid. They're getting more resistance. So they're trying to come out now and just be sly. But the thing is, oh yeah, that's what I was going to say, guys. If you're following me, please follow my main account, Leah Lauder 7 on TikTok, because I'm restricted off that until the 26th. So they're trying to get your girl off the net so that I can't get to 10K. So this is my main account, guys. I'm on a backup account now. So if you could follow this up, this would be great. So Arkid has asked a question on TikTok, guys. Thanks, Arkid, because it just helps, babe. Because they don't want me to get to that. I've got way more than 10,000 followers across all my accounts on TikTok, but because of how they report it up, it takes me a lot longer to build from one account. But what God has told me is, as they're making it difficult for me to build my thing on TikTok, so it's going to be like for their cults. Especially the people that report me up and do up this, that, and the third, their ministries are just going to crumble, crash, and burn, to be honest. You get what I'm saying? Because you reap what you sow. And remember, I'm putting that intent and that what's the word? Yeah, that intention out there, that when they do that their churches will just be destroyed. So this is why they're just going down. It's almost like they're getting flushed down the toilet, to be honest. No one wants it anymore. Did you ever? And since I've been speaking out, a lot of people have had the courage to now speak out. Loads of people are doing it. Have you seen it? I've set a flame. Did you ever experience any women in the upper end of the hierarchy? Experience them doing what, babe? But as you're writing, what kind of things did you mean did I experience? But what I'm going to talk about is how cantankerous the women are higher up in the echelons of the cult. Guys, like up the live. I am going to be off by 8 a.m. guys. Okay. And this is to protect the space on TikTok because it's becoming very heated. And also, I got to do something today, but I will be back on later. I will be doing a special live across YouTube, Insta, and TikTok. So I'm going to put that out. Oh, guys, I don't know. It'll probably be like maybe 5 or 7. Oh, I don't know, guys. I'm just going to cut soft live. So the women higher up are the most cantankerous, rude, washed up, EVIR type of women that you could find in your lifetime. And guys, this is why when people are like, I don't think, because they don't have that gnosis knowledge. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, they're not woke. So they think that, like, babe, I understand the laws and the teachings of Christ, baby. I get it. Do you know what I'm saying? So I don't have to fight. The battle is not mine, it's the Lord's. Do you get what I'm saying? So for me personally, when people are like, oh, you're trying to destroy the church, no, you lot destroy it with your evil, cantankerous personalities and words and your spirit. Like, for me personally, like, they're always throwing out curses at people, but their environments are cursed. So all the marriages are cursed. They're not happy. They're not in happy marriages. And they've indoctrinated the people to believe that it's not about happiness. It's about using these kingdom marriages to build the church and whatever. So these people are totally disconnected from reality. They're in unhappy marriages. If you ask these married people, you need to start asking them the right questions, because I don't want you to talk about scriptures. When was the last time you got your back blown out? Because you're promoting this marriage by existing. You're trying to tell us that it's a good thing. That's what I'm saying. Like, the married couples, they're the worst. You can't trust them. They're liars. They're liars, and the truth ain't in them, child. They are the best actors. That's why you see that a lot of these kids, especially in the African culture, because they're the ones that love marriage. They love a marriage. You know, you love a marriage, child. So a lot of them are getting married in the church cult, and then they're good at faking it, because even the people that don't go to the church cult, you know, if you like, a lot of in the Africa, we have that culture. Do you understand what I'm saying? Where it's like, mummy could be putting hands on daddy could be putting hands on mummy every single day. Do you know what I mean? It could be severe DV that you're witnessing in the house. Then, like, the 2 days later, it's daddy's 60th. So mummy's got to, you know, put on her glad rags and dress you lot up in them silly clothes that they'd be putting you in. And then you'll be going in your big puffy dress, and you'll have to fake it and smile when your heart is literally bleeding inside because you just saw your mum get punched up in the morning. Do what men do, or possibly adopt the ultimate cult leader position, or be manipulated. Oh, you're asking about the ranking. Oh, okay, I get you. All right, I got you now, babe. But they are cantankerous. All right. So what this what our kid is asking on TikTok is basically, he wants to know about the females in the cult, and like, do they adopt the ultimate cult leader position? Do they get up? Do they rise up the ranks? All right, there's so much to unpack with this. First of all, oh, you're a girl. Sorry, babe. First of all, it's a misogynistic, patriarchal environment, yeah? And my cult leader has a book, The Art of Leadership. And in there, he basically says that women's emotions can get the better of them. Women are evil. So to get into leadership positions, they need to, basically, they've got to be taught how to be leaders, because when women get into leadership positions, they're the most wicked type of leaders. Like, that's basically the rhetoric in a nutshell. He's also got a book called Strange Women, in which there's so much grape apologist tones in there. He says that a woman's, you know how watermelons only have 2 uses: to breastfeed the child and for the husband to enjoy. So if a woman is showing them, then basically she's a strange woman and she's looking for male attention. He also says that the way that a women are dressed is to seduce men. So, you know, he's just a grape apologist bag. That's why he's covered up a lot of the grape and the essay of his pastors. And what they do is they give the women an interrogation session, and it's always the women that come forward first, and then they just transfer them. They just transfer the problem. Please follow my main account as well, Sugar Diva. Please, girl. So there's a lot of that goes on. So what they do is they just transfer the men. Please, guys, thank you, Mimi. Guys, please follow me. They don't want me to get to 10K. Please follow this main account. Otherwise, it's like you haven't followed me. So they don't see it. What? Hey, J Dread. They see it as if a man and a woman, anything happens between a man and a woman. Thank you, baby. It's automatically the woman's fault. Okay, that's in his book. That's in the preaching. I've got screenshots of the members when they were trolling me online, when they thought they could come for me. They had to fall all the way back. They've had to fall all the way back, coming in with it, because everything they do, I use against them, because it's all evidence. It's all evidence to support what I'm saying. Because you're now coming in, sliding. You're now in my comments saying that a woman's legs is like a door. She can choose whether to open or close them. This is what grown-ass men from the cult is coming on a main platform like TikTok and saying, because they're in a self-sealing system. they're in a bubble where they're just getting severely indoctrinated every day. So they think this behavior is normal and they think this rhetoric is normal. And what's happened is these cults move in plain sight. So they've been getting away with this behavior for so long because they're fake. They're actors. They're like Geminis. They got two faces. They got there's heads and tails on that coin, child. So they act like, come in, my love. They act so like, oh, well done, my princess. They act like so perfect. Thanks, my love. It's fake. It's all smoke and mirrors in there. It's a facade. It's a mirage. Do you get what I'm saying? It's just lies. So these pastors, they know how to keep up like a good image. Do you understand what I'm saying? And that's what they survive off. Do you understand what I'm saying? So this is what they do a lot of, guys. There's a lot of manipulation and there's a lot of gaslighting. So they've been able to move in plain sight. But because I've started exposing them, because remember, silence is compliant. People come out and expose them, but they're watching their P's and Q's. A lot of people won't touch this because they're very powerful organizations. They got the money. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? So it's like if anyone of any prominence or any major broadcast is going to cover it, they've got to make sure that they cover their back, that the receipts are there. So that's why I started this collective movement, because it's not just me when you see me sitting here. I've got thousands of survivors worldwide that are in support of what I'm doing, that have given me their accounts, and I have receipts upon receipts upon receipts of the abuse that's been going on in there, including grape. We've got receipts to show that they've covered up grape. Yeah. So there's a lot of this. It's very common that's been going on. I just needed to give you to set the scene and the tone of these environments so that you can understand that women are in shackles. Women, you know, when you think about these church cults like First Love, Caris, RPF, NGRM, etc., even SPAC, they have a very archaic mindset where it's like they're in those biblical times. It's like they're in the Game of Thrones. So, you know, women don't have any rights. We don't have any rights. We're like second-class citizens in there. We are, you know, because back in the day, during the time that Jesus walked the earth, yeah, it was like women were seen lower than cattle. Okay, and women were like just kind of passed around, you know, like we were laves. That's what we were. We were the first slaves, but they've hidden a lot of the history. There's always a scapegoat, you know, with these evil, wicked men. There's always a scapegoat. There's always a black sheep. There's always some sort of segregation, because that's how they control. They control through segregation and division, and that's how they maintain the power. So men have always been afraid of women and our divinity. Do you know what I mean? We're the life givers. We're the portal to this universe. That's like, you know, you can't have creation. No one can exist if there weren't women, Jaya. Do you know what I'm saying? So these men, and I'm not talking about all men, because I just want to say I love my men. I'm not like a man hater or anything like that. You know, I love the D. I love spending time with men. I love masculine energy. It balances me out. Do you get what I'm saying? So I actually have more male friends than I do female friends, and I vibe more with men. But those are the men that are woke, that are not misogynists. Do you get what I'm saying? Because I can deal with a man that's got a little bit of you know, a bit of an ego, and he's a bit, you know what I'm saying? Because I deal with a lot of wealthy men, and they're in, you know, really high positions. So I'm used to that. And I could tell the difference between that kind of egotistical vibe that they got because they got so much money, or they're just very masculine, to when they're misogynist and just straight up male chauvinistic PIGSs and they're patriarchs. Yeah. So that's the environment. Okay. So any woman that wants to rise up the ranks, that wants to become anything they have to become like a man. All right. And I want to say I achieved a high ranking members position in the church cult. I was a praise and worship leader for 18 years. I was a choir director of the youth choir for the main headquarters, which is the largest branch in London. And I was a Gwacenta leader with over 4,000 members. So you see, they didn't give me the title of a pastor because I recruited my ex-husband from outside and brought him into the cult. So I had to, they made me start the game from scratch, because it's like a game in there. You know, you got to play the levels and pass the levels and do what they say. So I say, like, I was at level 10, they put me back to level 0 because my ex-husband, they don't know him now, innit? So now they have to G-check him. They have to make sure that he's indoctrinated. So I had to wait until my ex-husband had been in the cult for 7 to 8 years for me to start being given positions. And do you get what I'm saying? For them to like receive me again in a certain way, because it's like me recruiting a husband and bringing him back in. It's like I got black. Where are the mods? Burgundy. Is it delayed? Thanks, guys. Make sure you're blocking them up, man, because they get me angry. And you know I've got an anger issue. Please follow this. No. We were not paid for any of the positions. And you know, people have asked me, but especially Caris, they love to run you down and harass you, boy. Caris don't give you a break. They asked me, Girl, I had so many breakdowns. I'm gonna get into my mental health, but I'm trying to do like a, oh, what do you call it? A special bit of content for YouTube. So I'm trying not to talk about my diagnosis and my mental health, but I'll probably just go into it a little bit. I had many breakdowns, girl, but in there it's like you're not allowed to grieve, you're not allowed to show emotions, you're not allowed. Remember, mental health is demonic. Remember, mental health is demonic. It's not, they see it as demons. Do you understand? So if you're feeling like you're having a breakdown, you just go to your pastor, because the system is such that you form codependent trauma bond relationships with the pastor. Yeah, ADHD, all of that, they don't believe it. They don't, like dyslexia, all of that. They just think, get on with it, like, you're fine, you should be able to do it. So there's a real, do you know what? I don't want to say it's a lack of knowledge, because you've got doctors in there, you've got nurses in there, you've got therapists in there, you've got professionals in these church cults, but you have to remember they're young and naive when they get recruited. So they're like 15, 16, 17, and then they do these positions because they want them to be like right standing citizens where they're making a decent amount. Because remember, the cult leader wants to teeth your money as well. So a lot of people, especially in my cult leader's a doctor, so everyone in there is doing something clinical, or they're doing law, or they're doing finance. Do you get it? So I can't even remember the, oh, thanks, my love. So a lot of people, they just go to the pastor. Oh yeah, that's what I was saying. So a lot of people, they're just ignorant. So they brainwash them to, how they brainwash you in the cult, it doesn't matter what subject you do. You could be a doctor, whatever. That doctor will be there giving the antidepressants, but he don't believe it's helping, because remember, he believes that it's demons. So in his psyche, he's just going to prescribe the tablets, but he knows it's not. He doesn't think it's going to help, because he believes that he needs to take his patients to Dagu with Mills Healing Jesus Crusade for them to get healed. Do you know what I mean? It's ridiculous. Do you know how long I was in that church cult and I didn't get healed? Do you know how long I was in that church cult? It's all smoke and mirrors. They're magicians. They're magicians in there, man. It's all conjuring, it's all smoke and mirrors, it's all spell work, it's all hypnotism, it's all mystical manipulation, it's all dark mysticism, it's dark witchcraft, and it's spiritual dark practices. That's what it is. How did I escape? And then I'm going to get back onto the women titles, because I've gone completely off. All right, it was during the pandemic. That was how I got out. My cult leader was on a mountain. I write this in my book, you know. My cult leader was on a mountain, and he was wearing a red hat, a red cowboy hat, a white kind of kaftan shirt, when he had a red handkerchief in his pocket, and he was wearing dark black glasses. And so you lot are asking me, oh, why she was wearing glasses? Why does Dag wear glasses? Why was Dag wearing glasses every day in the pandemic? So anyway, he's standing there and he's saying like his empire's gonna, my empire will not collapse. My empire will not be destroyed. He was slipping up. I think he was so afraid of losing what had taken him a lifetime to build. Because remember, they build these churches with their hands. Then they come and say, "Oh, the Lord will build his church, and the gates of hell shall not. The gates of hell are prevailing, child." That's why you got one little woman scorned and everything bun up. Do you get what I'm saying? Hell hath no fury for a woman scorned. Not even hell's gonna stop this fury, child, because it wasn't built by God. It wasn't built. That's why my accounts, I shouldn't even have these TikTok accounts. Do you understand? Do you know how sensitive TikTok is? I shouldn't have none of this, but it's the protection of the Lord Jesus Christ. God has just been protecting the accounts. You lot's ish is falling, it's crumbling just at the seams. Because what you need to understand with these church cults, yeah, bro, I was waiting for healing whilst giving from the heart. Woo! Oh my God, I need to screenshot this. You know what? I'm going to put your quote in my book, bro. I'm going to put your quote in my book. What I'm gonna do is, when I see survivors that make really good quotes, I'm just gonna have like loads of quotes, like there's gonna be like cloud bubbles towards the end of the book, and it's just gonna be thoughts of, or sometimes I might even just put it in between pages. And do you know what? I feel like I'm gonna cry. I'm getting so emotional because, sorry guys. It's just so deep. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's so deep how we've come together as a collective. We've created this space. We're doing it by ourselves. And now I'm going to be putting in the quotes of survivors in my book. So you guys are going to have your voice. Your voice is going to be heard and seen in the book. Do you know what? I really like you, T. T saying it's deeper than rap. And I know you're talking about that old school 90s rap, in it, like Nas, Mobb Deep, Biggie, Tupac. I know that's what you're talking about. You're talking about, oh, hey, Taju. Oh, that's a lovely name. Thank you. Guys, please follow the main account, yeah? Oh, my God, I'm so overwhelmed, guys. honestly, these church cults, they absolutely destroyed my life. But do you know what I did? Like the G that I am, yeah. I went and deconstructed, I deprogrammed. I said in my mind, because I'm a smart cookie, I said, I've got to make sense of this. I've got to understand what they did to me. I've got to make sense of the brain, what they did to me. I've got to make sense. That's what I said. I said, I've got to make sense of this. And that's where my deconstruction programming started. And I've just deprogrammed and deconstructed myself. I've got a master's in social work, and I'm a specialist in youth work. I've got a youth work degree as well, specialize in working with gangs. So the theoretical knowledge that I had, you know, during and before the cult, the life experience of being on the roads, it's helped me, because gangs are high control groups as well. So I use a lot of comparisons and similarities between the high control groups that are gangs and cults. Oh, hey, Arkid. All right, so I'm going to go back on to thank you guys for your comments. I appreciate you. And YouTube, feel free to comment, but it might just be trolls that are sitting here watching me. An artist called Sir is a good rapper about, oh, I love Sir. He's so deep. You know, them dreadheads do it the best, girl. Yeah. I like me a bit of Sir Chow. When I get my man, I'll be putting on Sir Chow. Wow, didn't even know then you had them credentials, you know, and I already knew that you knew your stuff. Oh, thanks, babe. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. So now that you've got an idea of the misogynistic environment, yeah, like for example, in my cult, women can't go on missions. They can't like rise up the ranks in a certain way unless they're married. But there are special circumstances. Like there's women in the cult where they're so sold out. You're in this weird relationship with your pastor where it's like you're married to your pastor. Do you get what I'm saying? I weren't doing anything extra with my pastor, but it did feel like I was in a committed relationship with him in a weird way, because I was celibate for 7 years, but that's because I had my pastor. Do you know what I'm saying? My pastor would ring me all the time. I could ring my pastor anytime my pastor's picking up that call. Do you get what I'm saying? I'm on the phone to my pastor for 4 hours. I'm speaking to my pastor until 1 a.m. in the morning because I feel like I'm going to unalive myself. Do you know what I mean? That's a relationship. A lot of these pastors are in emotional relationships with their members. Thank you, my love. It's so true. Mental health is real. These pastors are having emotional affairs with their church members, and a lot of them are actually in love. They don't have to be doing anything extra, you know. It's not even about it. Do you know a lot of the reasons why men have affairs? It's not even for the, it obviously gets into that because they're not getting the back blown out. But these married men, they want conversation, because the wives become so like, you don't understand how stale marriages get, guys. I've been in a stale marriage. Like there's no physical touch, there's no emotional touch, it's like HELL. Everything, you're like doing things in silence. Everything becomes about the kids and the routine. It becomes very transactional. So a lot of the time, like they make out like, oh, strange women, this and that. These men just want to be showed a little bit of love, and they want to be felt. They want to feel like a man, because when they're in these marriages, they're like a little boy. And these wives, they mother the hell out of them. They treat it's like a brother and sister relationship. That's why they don't want to blow out the back, because they don't like each other. But a lot of the time, they're staying because of reputation, because to save face. They're staying because of the children. How many kids from African descent do you see on your FYP talking about breaking generational trauma cycles? How many people aged like 30, my age, like the millennials and the old Gen Zs, the older Gen Zs, how many of them do you see talking about they have to do therapy? Talking about they've got to heal from the trauma of the toxic African culture? How many do you see? How many stories do you hear of kids that can't talk to their parents because it's like, I'm above, you're beneath. I'm big, you're little. It's like they treating them like it's like an army. Do you know what I mean? And remember, I was married to a Nigerian for nearly 10 years. I was in this Christian Ghanaian fundamentalist cult for 18 years. So I really did take on that, you know, that toxic African woman internalizing misogyny and white supremacy, wearing abuse as the crown type of wife. So I've been there. I've got the credentials, share. So I know, and that's why they want me off the net, because I'm reading them for absolute filth. And at the end of the day, they can do as many videos, call me crazy, call me mad, but you're the one in the marriage, B. You're the one working 50-50. You're the main earner. You're the breadwinner. Whilst your husband sits on his arse all day. Do you know what I mean? Your husband is a glorified nanny. You are the main earner, out working and bringing in the guap. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? You're working every day that God sends. Plus you're doing the cleaning in the house. But you know, these men, they turn into housewives. So a lot of the time they just have to do a little bit of cleaning in the house so the wife doesn't kick off. Because remember, the wife wears the trousers and the pants in this relationship. Because if you got the, like a lot of these married couples, guys, when they work out the little small income that the husband's on, it doesn't make sense for the husband to work. That's why, don't you notice on the school runs, it's mainly men. Who's got kids? On the school run, it's mainly the men that are picking up the kids. And they'll be there early because they're whatless. The men of today, they're whatless. Like the women, that's why, if you notice with society, we're starting to see a little bit more equilibrium, because there's more women in higher positions. Women are balancing out the you know, how the income that they're earning. So there's, you know, before there would be like not a lot of women in CEO positions, or, you know, like influential positions that change the world, like to do with income. Don't we have a female vice president as well? But anyway, Labour's such a mess. I don't even want to talk about Kerr. Seriously, like, I'm getting my backside out to vote you, but that doesn't matter. They're going to put who they want in there anyway, innit? So it don't even make sense voting. They just want our details. They just want our information to be out there. Anyway, I've just gone off on a tangent, but you know what I'm trying to say, guys. So let's get back to the female position. So basically, because it's so toxic, because it's such a patriarchal, misogynistic environment, the women have to become like men. As I said to you, I was a high-ranking member. I may not have been a pastor, but how many pastors can say that are currently in the church court and have been pastors that they were a choir director of the main youth choir in London, Apache. I had well over, I had about 100 people in that choir. And then they had a Gwacenta, an online Gwacenta of over 4,000 people on Facebook. Like, yeah, you didn't have it. You're lying. You know, when I first started speaking out, they were telling me I'm lying, you know. That's what they were doing up, trying to say I was lying. After all these pastors from all over the world used to be calling me up. How do you do it? How do you do it? What are you doing? How are you getting all the pastors from Pastor Cliff that they got in First Love, that they're all worshipping? All of these pastors, they were all calling me, child, from everywhere, all over the world, asking me how I'm doing it. Yeah. So what I'm going to say to you is, I was a praise and worship leader. I was assisting my pastor. I was doing up everything. So I was doing more than a pastor. That's why I know. That's why I'm able to break it down and expose them the way I'm exposing them, because I was brought close. I was brought closer than a pastor. Do you understand what I'm saying? Are you having a laugh? Like, do you get what I'm saying? That's why with my cult, they're finished. They're done out. They're done out. Because everyone that's come forward, I was in the cult for so long. I was a piece of furniture that everybody that's come out, they feel comfortable to speak to me because they know Leah. They know Leah as the singer that was in the cult, that was, you know, people know Wagwan. Like the survivors that come out, you've heard them on the live talking about me, like they know about me. Like all the OGs, like Ben and them gal there. Do you get what I'm saying? Ben Bly Smith and them gal, them, they're all gal in there. They're all gal. Cliff, all of them, man, are you having a laugh? They all know about me, Jar. Bishop Richard I of First Love Church, he knows about me in the cult. Yeah. So I became that the high-ranking female thing. So what I'm going to say to you, in my cult, yeah, they're so masculine. You have to become a man, because in there, whether you're male, female, whatever, you've got to take on the pseudo personality of Dag. You've got to walk, speak, human fecal matter, PISS, just like Dag. You've got to be exactly like Dag. Otherwise, you're not getting up the ranks. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, you getting up the rank, and actually, I need to add that in my pyramid scheme, you know. Because to get up them ranks, you got to take on the pseudo personality. Can someone text me that? Is Lay Your Roof here or Salade? Can someone text me that something like pyramid scheme equals pseudo personality? All right. Hey, Miss J. All right, let's get to some of these questions that I've got on TikTok. Yeah. The cult lingo runs deep though. Did it stick to you? Hey, Charlie, what do you mean? Because Prophet has told us that we need to go into the world and we need to preach to the lost. We need to win the lost at any cost. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Because the Lord has told us that this is how I used to talk when I was in the cult. They all have a type of accent and they speak like this. It's almost like I don't even know how to explain it. Or you get some of the man them that are speaking in slow motion, because they're so indoctrinated that when they get in there, they start to speak even slower than before. And guys, I need you to understand that in these environments here, there's a lot of people with differing needs. There are some needs that people have, because remember, I've been a leader and I've had all different types of people around me. There will be people with needs here where they have no, I don't know what disability or what this would fit into, but it's like they find it hard to be in social settings and to be around certain people. I think there was one member, I think he was like quite severely autistic. And so he would come and speak to you. He would come and say, yeah, Leah, so what's he saying? And like he would be speaking at like 100 miles an hour. Oh, Leah, it was a really good day. It'll be random. He'll come and say, oh, Leah, I went with my mum to the park yesterday, and just randomly. And he'll be chatting your ear off like, and it's so hard to keep up. But, like a lot of people, they don't even understand what this guy's saying. They're not able to have like communicate with him or anything, but they'll just sit there and just listen to what this guy's saying, but they're clocked off. They're not really listening to him, but they just want him to be another bum on the seat. I remember with this same guy, and I feel so bad because he's still there. And these guys are so vulnerable. But again, I outreach to him, and I'm not proud of this, guys, but I'm just going to tell the truth. I outreach to this guy because I knew he was going to come to the church, and he's easy to manipulate because they use a lot of manipulation because you could see that he was autistic. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Some people, they're not as you can't see, they're like functioning, they have functioning autism, so you can't see, that they're autistic. But this guy is visibly, you can visibly tell that he had extra needs. So that is why I approached him. I'm not proud to say it, guys. I feel really, really bad. I feel really bad. I targeted vulnerable young girls that look like, because I work with vulnerable young women. I've been a vulnerable young woman myself. I could see when they're vulnerable, man, to get in, used and the man them. Oh, thanks, Nana. I feel so bad, babe. I feel so bad because this guy is still in it, and he's so vulnerable. And I chose him purposefully. I targeted him and I chose him because I knew he was disabled, and I feel like a terrible person. I knew he had a disability, and I recruited him knowing that I could manipulate him and I could coerce him to come, and he was just going to do what I say. Sorry, guys, I'm just trying to take a minute, and I've got 20 minutes, so I'm going to go through the comments. I need to just get myself together, guys, and I'm going to do a part 2, guys. I'm going to come on. I'm doing a part 1, and then I'm going to come on and do a part 2, okay? Wow, didn't even know them. You had them. Oh, okay, no, I've gone too far up. I've rescued a woman before saying the pastor is sleeping with a few women. Oh, Angel, you're such an angel. That's why you've got that name, girl. Well done. You're such a queen. What's the quote called? It's first love, Mustard Seed Chapel Internet. Guys, I feel so bad about this guy. I think I've just when you've just disassociated, and I feel so bad because he's still there and he doesn't understand, I saw him because he goes to this boxing club near my mum's workplace, I think like maybe last year, and I was trying to explain to him that it was a cult and it wasn't a safe space, and he couldn't understand what I was saying, and I had to just go and move away from him and just be like, there's nothing that I can do. Do you know what I'm saying? I can't explain to him. He's not going to be able to process that. It's an evil environment because he's really severely disabled, guys. I'm just trying to go through the comments, guys. I'm just really sad when I think about this guy. It's mad how Africans can be manipulated. I come from a place of experience from both sides. Yeah, people could be so wicked. Yeah, I've got Caribbean ancestry, but I identify more as an African. And I know when I go to Africa, but I'm just going to feel such a connection with my motherland. I think when I go to Africa, I think that's when I'm going to decide in myself that I'd probably like to retire there. I know that's what's going to happen when I'm there. I'm in the earth. I'm with my people. I've got the food there. I just know that I think that is where I'm going to retire. Guys, you know what? I see myself like now I finally feel like I'm finding Leah. Like I could see myself being a bit like, that Dora woman, like going out into Africa, just building a children's home, or just, you know what I mean? Like where I can look after the vulnerable kids, or, I just see that for my future because I've always wanted to do that. But when you come in these church cults that everything's about marriage, like everything's about beloved marriage, finding a husband, that women, they get robbed, man, of like, completing their calling, completing and you don't have a calling in there. That's the thing. You don't have a calling because there's they life map everything out for you. So everybody's doing the same thing. Everybody's becoming a pastor. Everybody's, you know, going on missionaries. Everybody's dream is to start a branch. Like there's no individuality. Like it's the same life path. Like there's no individuality or autonomy. Angel says pray on Sunday and they plot on Monday. Oh, that's so true. Oh, let me take that one as well. That's a good comment. Construction of the hierarchy. Oh, people are saying I was brainwashed. I was a victim. I was vulnerable. Please follow this main account, guys. If you understand the effect of proper emotional manipulation, it's mad. It is mad. Do they dress in white? No, that's the Celestial Church. You know, the white garment. But maybe there might be a cult that do dress in white. Reparenting yourself as a process, so let the tears out and emotions flow. Your compassion is real. Oh, I appreciate you, T, man. So religious leaders are narcissistic people. Yes, and hurt people, babe. Do you know what I'm saying? Like they come from, oh hey mafia mom, they just have like such traumatic upbringings. Do you know what I mean? Rebecca's asked a few questions as well, and I just want to say, YouTube, you know, this is the thing, you're absolute sweet souls. They've been watching silently, and then as soon as I started, you know, pouring my eyes out and crying, they've just started to, you know, say it's okay, Leah. And this is the reason why we got indoctrinated, guys. This is what, because you know what also I think makes you at risk, if you got a good heart, if you're a good person, especially if you're like you're quite like, I don't want to say timid, but, and I don't want to say, oh guys, you know me, I can't mince my words. If you're a walkover, and say, guys, if you've come from those kind of environments where, oh my gosh, I don't even have my tissue. If you've come from one of those environments where, yeah, giving, oh my God, if you're generous, oh yeah, they're gonna exploit you. They're gonna exploit you. But if you've come from a home where your mum was just a walk all over, do you know what I mean? Like a doormat for your dad, then you've internalized that. Do you know what I'm saying? So you have like that repressed memory, but also remember your psychosocial views of how you see the world is formed from learning. It's from social learning. It's from learning from your parents as a child. It's not, we don't learn in school, we learn at the home. That's why I always liken it to a nursery. When a child goes to nursery, you'll see that the boy might be playing with, you know, like toy mechanics because his dad's a mechanic. The mum might be a stay-at-home mum, so the little girl will be in the kitchen. They mimic the parents. So that's what happens. You mimic your parent, you internalize their behavior and their mannerisms. That's why I'm like, oh God, you know, my kids are confident though. That's the one thing. My crazy ass has made some very confident girls. No one's gonna walk all over them chair. Do you get what I'm saying? Because they kind of internalize how their mum is. Do you get what I'm saying? So there's that element to it as well. All right, so let me quickly finish talking about the leadership thing. Then I'm going to get to Becca's question because I really want to make sure that YouTube's voice is heard as well. So the long and short of it is women have to put on the pseudo personality. They become very masculine. So what you'll find is I'm going to use CC at power for NGRM. Shut it out. Like they're so aggressive. They move, even the phone dropped. They move like the men. Do you understand what I'm saying? And the Lord, especially when they pray, Shakaya Satarabosho, and the Lord has said that the Lord will rain down on Matthew. It's so unattractive. Ugh. It's disgusting. It's repulsive. When these women start to act like the men, it's so masculine. It's like a bull in a china shop. It's just giving. Ugh. Well, if I was a man, I wouldn't be wanting to blow out the back of the women after seeing them with that display. Running up and down, like so butch. You know, like because they have. Do you see that the women become masculine? There's they masculinate the women, if that's such a word. There's the masculinization of women in the church cult where you have to be like a man. If you're not like a man, yeah, and you know what? It's like when I speak, that's when people start to understand it a bit more because it's like you see things, but you don't really know how to explain it, how to put it, like to make sense of it and how to put it in. Do you get what I'm saying? But that's what it's like. You have to become like a man. A lot of the time you have to take on the pseudo personality of the leader. They're usually men. It's very patriarchal. It's like finance. These church cults, their businesses, it's like finance. It's very top heavy. Like you will never get someone really, really high up in these echelons where they've got, in my cult, they give these women Episcopal sisters, like female bishop titles, but they give it to them when they're washed up. So like Mother Dianara, she's been discarded ages ago. Do you get what I'm saying? It's only because I started screaming her name that she comes on Instagram to do a couple of these fake posts. I'm perfect. I'm Miss Mother Dianara, but I've neglected my kids my whole life to the point where Leah's got receipts that if she shows them, I'm going to be absolutely destroyed. And I haven't showed those pictures because that girl is Mother Dianara, Episcopal female bishop. She's so mentally effed up in the head that if I was to put them pictures, I don't know if she would survive it, because she's in her own internalized bubble. So I'm just going to say how I got these pictures. The person has asked me not to share them unless I absolutely have to. Like, she takes it there with me. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's what they've asked me, to use my discretion in exposing how she was treating her kids. So I will use my discretion. But if that girl thinks she's going to have my name in her mouth, oh, child, them receipts are coming out. So a lot of them, you'll see that they dress very masculine as well. There's no femininity. So these women don't know how to be feminine because, like, they demonize femininity, self-love, self-care. They say that self-love is from the DEVIL. I think we can say devil on here. They say that you know, femininity, self-love, self-care is from the devil. So a lot of the women, they just let themselves go. And what happens is these women become leaders. Like they're like dictators, like, you know, and they're ordering around men. Like in my ministry, I was ordering around this 40-year-old short guy. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, giving him orders. The words are not coming up enough. Put the words up, Charlie. You have to have the word. This is how I'm talking to grown men. Now, this is why I'm not really like a feminist, but I haven't looked into feminism like to that depth to say if I am or if I'm not. But one thing I do believe in is intersectional feminism. I feel like it's less radical, and it just keeps us within that intersectional lens of theory, which allows us to still have discretion and to be able, because anything, guys, where there's an ideology, it can turn into a cult. So I'm very, very apprehensive about getting into things too tough. Do you understand? But what was I going to say about the feminism? Yeah, they strip women down to the point where they demonize feminism and femininity. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So therefore the woman cannot be in her feminine energy. That's why when you go into these Pentecostal churches, it's cold. Thank you, Sprinkles. Please follow my main account, girl. They don't want me to get to 10K. The only ever decor that you'll see in these church cults will be balloons, and it will be them washed up aunties who have an events company, and then they do the decor for the church cult, and they do it for free. Okay, there's no, like, guys, you see, women, when it comes to decor, decoration, beautifying the home, if you're in your feminine energy, anyone that comes into your house will be like, wow, this is beautiful. Because as a woman, you've put, like, in my house, I've got artwork on the walls. I'm going to start putting, you know what I'm going to do to my doors, guys? And I think I'm gonna vlog this. I'm gonna, you know where the door is, because I've got like a door in my, like, it's like a cupboard where my clothes is, and I'm gonna put like pictures of, like, you know, like the beach, water and whatever, and I'm gonna hand paint on my doors. I'm gonna put tiles, so all my doors are gonna be tiled in the house. So when you come into my house, it really is an extension of my persona. So it's almost like I'm taking you through a journey in my house. Do you get what I'm trying to say? It's almost like a utopia. It's an experience. It's like an art gallery, you know. It shows my creativity. And that's why if I was in any type of environment where I was doing up church, I would do that. Do you know what I'm saying? If I came into the room and it's a children's ministry and I see, ooh, I would ask, so could I paint on the, you know, like paint something on the walls for the kids? But because these cults, they're high control groups, nobody can come and make that suggestion. Oh, like, can I do this to make this better? Or I can do artwork, I could paint. Like, do you know how many artists there are? How many arty people there are who have artistic abilities? But you see, in these church cults, they're high control environments, they're dictators. So there's no art ministry. It's always acting stars, dancing stars, and singing. So you've got to have one of these talents, or they'll tell you that your talent is soul winning. So now you're outside, like you're this bloody, you know, Mafia mom, you're such a queen. I absolutely adore you. I love you, girl. You know, there's no like femininity. You come into these church cults and it's just cold, man. Where are the artists? Where are the people with other talents who can do something? So basically, leading into the marriage, I'm going to lead this into Rebecca's question because it fits in really nicely. Becca has said, how come in church the husband and wives are so separated? It's because the wives are moving like men, babe. So what it is, it's like an LGBTQ plus relationship. That's why they shouldn't be accusing. That's why they shouldn't be coming for the LGBTQ relationships, because lavender marriages have more love, have more affection. There's more growth than the marriages in the church cult in the cut. Do you get what I'm saying? And I would rather have a lavender marriage any day, child. Come and bring it to me, baby. I would rather have a lavender marriage any day of the MF week than be married to one of these washed up, egotistical, malignant, narcissistic men. Because them guys that are LGBTQ plus, yeah, oh my gosh, they're so in touch with their emotions. Do you understand what I'm saying? At least I know I'll be getting flowers every day. Yeah, the way they be praying against LGBTQ plus and demonizing them. That's why me personally, there's a lot of things. I'm gonna keep it real, guys. Because there's so much demonization of that community, there's still a lot deep rooted in my psyche where it's like it's gonna take a lot of deconstruction for me to see past a lot of things, because they've demonized that group a lot. But because of just me having my morals where I love everybody, I'm non-judgmental. That's why I said it's very important for you to get your morals and your values, because even if you're not fully deconstructed, you will be able to say, even though that person's LGBTQ plus, it doesn't matter, because I'm gonna love them regardless, because my values are I don't discriminate, I'm non-judgmental, I'm not prejudiced. So that's why I'm saying, for even these people that are still doing up Christianity, even if you think that it's wrong or whatever, you've still got to show that person respect. You've still got to show them love. You've still got to be non-judgmental. You've still got to be anti-discriminatory. Because if you can't do that, then how are you saying that you're a follower of Christ? You ain't got no love in your heart. Yeah, Burgundy. And girl, you've got to be you. Do you know? And that's why, you know what? Yeah. I had a few men from the LGBTQ plus community come and tell me that allegedly, is it Max from Faith and, I've forgotten the cult. Is it Faith and Victory? Is that the cult? Faith and Victory in Thamesmead? Is it Pastor Max that was on Black Chat? Was on Back Chat or whatever it's called, Black Chat. A guy came forward to tell me that he's into twinks. He's been on the LGBTQ plus dating websites, and he's been chatting to man them on there. You having a laugh when I was putting his picture up, allegedly. So if I had oh my God, I've never had that before. Someone's gifted me. Oh my God. Oh, someone just gifted me a big gift on TikTok, and they said, I will send you a gift for being such a beautiful, caring soul. Bless you. Oh, that means so much to me. Thanks so much, babe. You're such a queen. Oh my God. Thank you so much. Ella, thank you. I really appreciate you, babe. Thank you so much. Oh my God, guys. This has been an emotional life. I just want to say, yeah, without this movement, without you guys, without the support, I would have been finished. I would have been absolutely finished. And you guys give me hope in mankind. Like, you guys give me the that's why I said I'm not here for people inside the cult, bro. Like, it's not my job. I'm here for the people, the survivors, the people that are struggling to keep sane every day, the people who are waking up and thinking, I can't do this anymore. Like, this is who I'm here for. Like, you don't know, I just got my diagnosis the other day. I've been trying to process it, but I said, F that, man. I'm riding out for my people then. I'm gonna come on in my brokenness. Thank you so much, Ella. I really appreciate you, girl. And for everybody liking the live, for everybody gifting, thank you so much. I really appreciate everything that you guys do. So Rebecca said, girl, as I was saying, do you understand what I'm saying? Like, it's like two men in the relationship. These women are so masculine. They're more masculine than their husbands. I was becoming more masculine than my husband. It was crazy. It was disgusting, and it impacts on the marriage, because remember, the man's supposed to be the leader, he's supposed to be the provider, he's supposed to be the head of the house. But because they make these women, and in the sound doctrinal church, they don't even believe that women should be leaders. That's the thing. So in these sound doctrinal churches, it's very unbalanced. Thanks for the follow, Madison. Please follow the main account. There has to be equilibrium and balance, yin and yang. There has to be that in every element. We see it in every dimension of everything. In creation, when we're reproducing, there has to be the balance. That you got the sun and the moon, you got the seasons. Do you get what I'm trying to say? There's a balance in absolutely everything. So in these church cults, there's no balance. So what happens is there starts to be this imbalance. And remember, in the word, it says that an unjust balance is an abomination. So these marriages just become an abomination. Like, that's what they are. They're fake. They're in cosplay. And another thing is, because the women, they're so fixated on the whack, doing the whack. There's no time for intimacy. And there is no intimacy because the cult leader wants to control everything. So the cult leader, I'm gonna end on this, guys, and then I'm gonna come back here. The cult leader has this book called The Model Marriage, and he's even got eggshell positions in the book. Yeah, so he feels like he needs to teach people how to have, like eggshell time. So in the book, it's got actual drawings of, and guys, catch the tea, it's got drawings of the different what in there. So it's got the head, It's got head in there. It's got different, like getting the black bone out from the back, like, missionary, like all different types in there. Yeah. But catch the tea, guys. The guy who sketched the artwork in the book, he is a well-known pred in the church cult. I think it was Sister Philippa's brother. And he's just an SEX maniac, allegedly. That's what word on the street is, child, because my sources, that's what I said to you. See, like that, you see, because of the content that I'm making, yeah, even if people are thinking I'm a bit rowdy, I'm a bit this, I'm a bit that, because of the facts that I'm spitting and the level of gnosis, like the knowledge that I'm coming with, people from pastors to friggin', like people, like high-ranking members that were being in there, like guys that you would never fit, like we're from two different worlds apart. They're calling me with receipts. They're calling me with receipts. They're calling me with receipts. People are trusting me with their receipts. That's why when that girl came out the other day on the internet to say that I was getting paid for Albert Ofori's post, like, is she having a laugh? Getting paid for, where's my check then? Where's my check? Because I'm struggling every MF day to put food on the table. You get me? I had to build my life from the ground up. I have no roster. I have no daddy. I have no zaddy paying my bills because I've decided that I'm going to heal. Are you having a laugh? And then this gal wants to say that I'm getting paid. That girl's, I think she's mentally unstable. I'm not saying that it didn't happen to her, because I would never say, if a girl's coming out and saying that she's been essayed and raped, I'd never say that she's not doing that. But guys, I've been doing this for a hot minute now. And you see the essay and the grape victims, these women, yeah, they're the hardest ones to come forward. They don't report. My whole thing with alarm bells with her is how she didn't come to me first. And I'm not saying that I'm the gatekeeper and the king and queen and absolute, infinite, like avatar and, whatever of cults. I'm not saying that. But who else is doing what I'm doing? No one. No one else is doing what I'm doing. So if people want to come and share their story, they're going to most likely come to me. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, but why didn't you come to me? Because you're not getting anything out of it. Instead, you go to this guy who's got a following of nearly 1 million people to go and be saying that you've got great and essayed and emmed by this Albert Ofori guy. Then you're bringing up my name and saying, yeah, Leah, she got paid. It's giving clout chasing. Like, you brought me into it now because you want to now bring me into it to clout chase off my name. That doesn't sound like someone who's doing it from a place of they want to do it for the survivors. I'm not saying, because these pastors are evil, or I'm not saying that she didn't get whatever, but remember, I've told you that a lot of people in these church courts, some of them are just the same as their pastors. That's why I said we've got to use like discernment, like our intuition. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, we've got to be coming from a place from within. Do you get what I'm saying? So that we can be able to call these things out. And to be honest, she put me in a really sticky situation, that girl, because it's like the essay and the grape element of it. If she had just come to me, we could have built such a strong case of that. I've been wanting to expose that cult. But now, because she's lied in her statement and said that I got paid, and I definitely haven't got paid. Where's the receipts? If I've got paid, there must be some sort of bank transfer. Who told you this? Who do you know that I know? How did you find out this information? So she's just gone on there and lied. So what that does for me is that discredits everything that she said before and after it. Like, I can't take on board what you're saying. Like, in my hearts of hearts, I can't take on board what you're saying now. I can't use your account to push and drive forward the work and say that guy is doing that and say like he has been doing that. Now people are unsafe in the church cult, but I can't do any content around it to advocate for this girl because she hasn't come to me. Yeah, she sounds very unwell, girl. I'm not gonna lie. And you know me, I don't like to generalize and stereotype and whatever, but she does sound unwell. And I just feel that I do think that it did happen to her. But I think what's happened is it's most likely turned her off the edge. So she's getting getting things muddled up. And yeah, it's just giving. And I feel sorry for her. Do you get what I'm saying? I do. But I hope that she's got receipts. That's what I hope. Because again, guys, my heart is for the survivors. If you do watch this, the girl that was on there that had my name in her mouth, if you do watch this, as much as, yeah, I am quite fiery and whatnot, I can manage myself and I can talk to you and treat you just like a survivor. I've put this out before. I've said you can come to me. Girl, I've been working with essay and grape victims, like, this whole time that I've been doing this up. And number one, I don't think that they would feel comfortable to go on a male's platform. Do you understand what I'm saying? To be talking about their grape and this and that, because they don't even trust men. And to even come out like that, I don't know. There's a lot of things in there that I just feel like she needs to get better first. She needs to get mentally better. Because you know what she went to do? She went to go and create a fake account. Like, she's got like a burner account in it, Duchess of Ghana or something. She's claiming it's not her. It's her, man. She's on there. Thanks, Ange. I had to do another piece of content. Yeah, she's on the original post. She was going on there and commenting on every single comment. under an alias account. And one person was like, oh, said something about her, and she was like, is it paying your bills to know where she is? Of course it's you. Look at how you're responding. Look at, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to get what I'm saying, to figure out that that's you. And this girl hasn't even come on that post to talk. She's come on the other post to be chatting her ish and be doing up bare commenting. She's not well. That girl is definitely not well. So anyway, if you've seen that post, I want to unequivocally say, I don't get paid for any promoting. I don't even know why I'm bothering to say this, because you don't know I don't F with these man them. Do you understand me? These pastors can't come and ring my phone. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, these pastors can't come and ring my phone for nothing. They're afraid and scared. I have put out there that I am, yes, I'm mad, I'm intolerable, my mouth is loud, you can't reason with me. There's a reason why I've done what I've done. You think someone from these church cults is going to come and ring up my phone to come and say anything to me? They're shook. Not one pastor has come to ring my phone to say anything. Are you having a laugh? They don't know how to control me. They don't like people like me, babes. They don't look, they're scared and shooketh. They like people that they can manipulate and people that they can friggin' gaslight and control. Someone like me, I'm the Jezebel. That they see me as the Jezebel. Do you know what Jezebel did? Go and look it up in the Bible, baby. They're afraid and scared. They're shooketh. Are you having a laugh? I'm coming for all these false prophets. Minakir, they haven't got the balls to come and approach me. You think anyone's going to come to me to be talking about I would have exposed it. She sounds crazy. If a church or a pastor came to ask me, that's me, I got my receipts. It makes no sense. Why is a church going to come to incriminate themselves? Send someone to put, why would it doesn't even make any sense. So I get paid to expose it just the girl sounds nuts. So guys, please, you got to be careful. Remember, I said this before she even started talking out. We've got to be careful, because now that I've started speaking about these church cults and it's creating a buzz, you know, people are seeing that, you know, I'm getting a lot of followers, like the thing is working, like I'm getting views. So people are trying to now jump off and ride off the back of that. Why weren't you talking about it before? I was deconstructing. Oh, whatever. Do you know what I mean? You were posting your travel pictures. You were doing up traveling and vlogging. Now all of a sudden, like it's like day and night. Like now you want to be talking about cults. It's like anyone that talks about it, it's gonna bust. So guys, please be aware of this. There's a lot of clout chasers. That's why I said I move solo. Hey Haynes, I move solo. Kiki, I move solo. Do you get what I'm saying? Like even when I don't have friends. For these gal them to be fingering me in my back. I don't have to go. I'm going to message you back here. Yesterday was a bit of a challenging evening. It's the same principle. Do you get what I'm saying? I'm too smart for that. I keep myself to myself. I move on my ones. I move solo. Do you get what I'm saying? That way nobody can't chat my name. They can't chat my business. They ain't got nothing to say. No one chats to me. So what are you going to say? What have you seen? That's why I'm not letting no one in my yard anymore. I'm not, you know what I mean? I've got my boundaries up, man. You know what proof. I'm not having it. Do you get it? I'm just talking about that girl that was saying that I was getting paid for doing up pictures. All right, I'm going to answer this last question, and then I'm going to go, guys, because I can't spend too long on lives as well, because they report up the lives. So I'm going to go, and then I'm going to go, and I need to do my little girl's hair, her birthday hair, actually. And then I'm going to come back a bit later in the afternoon. Okay, so do you get why so many churches and wives are so separated? Because yeah, got to keep the circle. KJ the Ghost, you want to know what my circle is? Me, my 11-year-old eldest daughter, and my 8-year-old daughter. That's my team. That's my team. Them kids have had my back when I was losing my damn mind. It was my kids that kept me going. Do you know what? Every day when I feel like I can't make it anymore, it's them girls. When I look at them girls' face, they've been riding it out with me, man. No one will ever love you like your kids will love you. That's why I'm seeing these gal, them 42 and no kids, and they're dancing on TikTok. It pisses me off. Do you know what I'm saying? Because my kids are my world and my life. I'm not going to comment because I don't need to comment. But girl, that might be a bit of projection. Do you get what I'm saying? I'm happy that you don't have kids. Yeah, it's good for you. But why do you feel like you need to be putting it up on TikTok? Because my kids are my world. If I didn't have them kids, I would have topped myself a long time ago. That would have been it. So that's my team. I don't need friends. I've got my kids. My 11-year-old's getting bigger now. By the time she gets to 13, that's my BFF. Are you having a laugh? She gets to 60, so I don't need friends. And then I've got my mum and I've got my sister. Do you get what I'm saying? So I don't need no friends, bro. Oh, thanks, babe. It's her birthday next week on the 29th. I appreciate you, girl. So the reason why they're separated is because there's no intimacy, there's no affection. They're narcissists because remember they take on the pseudo personality of the cult leader, so they become narcissists and they become cold. So there's no like intimacy, there's no emotion in the marriage, there's no love, there's no. They've grown out of love a long time ago, so now they're just doing up fake. They're just doing up play in church. They're just doing up to come to the church. Do you get what I'm saying? And just play church and to just do cosplay. It's a fake. It's a fake life. A lot of the married couples actually in the church cult, they should be given Oscars, Grammys and BAFTA awards because they are in the wrong line of work, chair. If they just focused and they just decided to do up some auditions, they could actually do really well in acting because they're just faking it until they make it. Does that make sense, girl? And the cult leader, as I said in the book, he's got drawn positions in there. So he wants to take over everyone's life, people's marriages, their intimate life, everything. He has the say. It's like, remember I told you there was this pastor that got married. And on the night of his wedding, he calls up his pastor. Thanks, KJ the ghost. He calls up his pastor. Oh, Charlie, it's not working. It's not working, Charlie. What should I do? It's not working. He can't blow out the back of his wife. Guys, do you know what? I'm so glad that I got married outside of the cult because at least in the beginning of the marriage, I was getting some good D. Do you know what I mean? Because them in the church cult, their libido is low. Oh, look, guys, do you know that there's guys in the church cult, they're in their 30s and in their mid to late 20s and they're on Viagra. They can't get it up, guys. They can't. Because you see these cults, especially it affects the men in a different way. It sucks all of that out of them. So they've got no libido. They can't get it up. Half of them can't. They're so fixated on the work. They're not, and then on top of it, they're not attracted to their wives. They haven't married the women that they're attracted to. So a lot of the time when these mandem are blowing out the backs of their wives when they have to, the only time they blow out their back is when they want to have a baby or when I'm going to have to come off, guys, when they want to have a baby or when they want to, there's an anniversary of some kind. Maybe Christmas they might get a little, but actually no, because it's so busy during Christmas, they don't get no blowing out of the back. So I would say just when they want to have a child and maybe maybe Valentine's Day, because then the pastor's going to be preaching, oh, you don't love your wife, you don't treat your wife, when was the last day? They start doing up their messages to force, the pastors force the men to blow out the backs of women that they don't like and they aren't attracted to. Ooh. Could you imagine being in a marriage and the woman is repulsive to you? She repulses you. And then on top of that, she's not your type. You've just married her to so it's like a repulsion. It's disgust. So this is why a lot of the mandem, they're sleeping with other women in the church cult because they're not attracted. These women, they're not attracted. They marry the women that, if it's not arranged, then they'll marry a woman that they think their pastor would be happy for them to marry. Because remember, in my cult, how they sell it is when you choose the wife, that's when we see how spiritual you are. That's when we see how much of a, how much of the word has entered you. How much of a good spiritual son and daughter you are of the house. So the marriages are done out. They're finished. So for me personally, I just laugh at them because they're all fake. All of them are fake. And that's why I'm out here. Like if these men could sleep with me and their wives would never find out, they do it. Do you know how? And that's why they hate, because I'm a beautiful woman. So the men are coming on, and do you know how much stuff I get away with because I'm pretty? Like if someone else was to do it, they just get in their mouth chair. Do you know what I'm saying? Do you know how much stuff I get away with? Because the men are not seeing me, especially when I'm wearing my tight gym leggings. Like the other day I kicked off in Aldi chair, but the security were just standing there. They didn't know what to say because I'm so gorgeous. Do you get what I'm saying? That they're getting aroused by me because they're not seeing me as like an angry woman that's being aggressive. They're seeing it as like, it's like turning them on. It's like, do you know what I mean? They don't know what to do with themselves. And that's why I say, ladies, tap into your feminine energy. It's very powerful. That's why they have to unalive that in us, because we'll be able to control the men, you see. Do you understand what I'm saying? So the cult leader wants to be able to control us. And that's what he does with the women, because we've got a lot of power in our divinity. Do you understand what I'm saying? So as you come out, ladies, really tap into your feminine energy, okay? They're going to say it's evil. They're going to say it's demonic. That's why all the women in there are washed up. They got the looks, like they got their fake wigs, they got their £500 wigs, their face is caked with makeup. Oh my god, these girls are a mess. They're wearing their tight clothes and they're coming in the church coat, they could barely walk like in their tight clothes, thinking that they got some chat. They've got no femininity. It's all like a facade. So that's why these are the type of women that these men will they choose them to marry, because they can see the insecurity. They can see that they're just a slave. So they're going to marry them because the men know that they're going to be the prize. That's why these men like getting married. Do you notice that it's the guys that get married are the guys that have been mollycoddled by their mum? They're looking for a mother. They're not looking for a wife. They're not looking for a lover. A man will want a lover. But a little boy, he wants a wife. He wants a mother. He wants a lave. Do you get what I'm saying? A lot of these guys that are in these married relationships, and the wives will be proud to tell you, you know, oh, my husband, he doesn't even know how to use a washing machine. He don't even know how to use a dishwasher. Oh my God, he would never leave me. He knows exactly what But so why do you feel proud to say that? The only reason he's staying with you is because you look after the house. He just brings some money home. You get all the shopping. You buy everything. He's like a kid. Guys, honestly, he doesn't have to lift a finger. And the thing is, I don't mind. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I don't mind doing a bit of cooking here and there. I don't mind. If you're paying all the bills, you're treating me right, you're giving me good deed, you're doing all the things that you're meant to do. Baby, because me, I got to keep it cute, and I can't have him seeing me as like laving away. I'll just be there and I'm wearing nothing and I'm cooking. Or I will get him to give me the money to go to Ann Summers and get a cute little, like Eggsy maid outfit. So when I'm cooking, all he's going to be seeing is that derriere from behind. So, as I'm cooking, we could just get it cracking, during, as the stew is stewing on the cooker, we are on the balcony, or we are on the kitchen worktop, because I look too good as I'm cooking. So now you can't even concentrate on the cook. That's how a relationship should be. You should be like not taking your hands off each other. But in the church cult, they're like, oh, when you're married for a long time, you become like brother and sister. You become like friends, like a best friends. You can always tell when someone's in the honeymoon period. I saw a couple standing at the bus stop. They were all over themselves. They were kissing each other. We couldn't get their hands off each other. I know it's a new relationship. I know they haven't been through the tests and the trials and the fires, but you are still standing. You are loyal. May God give you grace to continue your marriage. May God make you a good wife. May God make you love your husband. May your husband love you. May your wife cook you for food. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's misogynistic slurs and tones. And again, it's the stereotypical rhetoric that a woman is a slave, and may your wife cook you good fufu. May your husband do that. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous, chair. And of course, the husband and wife is going to start doing it because they worship the pastors. So do you see that that's mystical manipulation? They're not actually prophesying. Like me, when I heard that, I'm going to let my husband blow out my back, even though I don't like him and I'm not chatting to him. I'm going to go and cook the food because the pastors told me to do it that day. Yeah, I'm going to start doing up the podcast, girl. It's just, at the moment, girl, it's just the peas. Like, I have to go and do up. I think I'm going to see how the time goes on. But, like to get the podcast, I've got the mic and I could just be doing it from my house. But I wanted to do it, like with a setup. But I have to prioritize my kids, man. Like, all the money I get, I've got to just spend on my kids because, I've had to take this time out to focus on my mental and my physical health. And so I do really cut back on a lot of stuff for myself and everything, just so that my kids can just have, the life that they deserve, because I'm not going to let, this cult thing, ruin it for my kids. It's not fair on them. And thank God that their dad is just like, he's such a good dad. That's the one thing I can't take away from them kids. That's why I chat to him. That's why he's still breathing. Because he's a good dad. You know what I'm saying? Like, he does a lot for the girls. He does a lot for the kids. So my kids don't lack nothing. Yeah. Because Becca said that she wants to know why the husband and wives are so separated, because when you go to church, you don't even know someone is married. Yeah, because they're brethrens. They're like brother and sister. A lot of the time, they're not chatting to each other, babe. Morning hands. They're not chatting to each other. So a lot of the time, girl, you'll notice that they're not even talking, and they're moving around the church court. They don't want people to know that they're not talking, them ones. So that's why a lot of the time they're more like brother and sister. They're not like married couples, babe. That's the vibe that it's given. And on that note, guys, I think I'm going to wind down. I have to go and do my child's hair, man. But you know what, guys? What I'm going to do is I'm going to come back on a little bit later, because you know what? I've been spending so much beautiful quality time with my kids, because my daughter went away on this trip and then she came back. And yesterday, actually, my little girl, yeah, she's so funny. She whenever we have these little movie nights, she makes all the snacks. So my eldest, so she went down and she was like, "All right, mummy," I asked her to make me some spaghetti bolognese. That's why that African training, I haven't let it go completely. I mean, not entirely. I still ask my children to get me the water, and to get me a drink with ice, and to get me to do my food, because I do everything for these kids. Bloody hell. And I go above and beyond. I'm not like a normal mum. Like, I go above and beyond for these kids. So you can make me a little food. This childcare, she made croissant. she put the Biscoff thing in there. She cut up all the donuts and put little biscuits in there. She did like nachos with cheese. She's so cute. But we fell asleep. So I want to watch Moana whilst I'm doing their hair. And then yeah, does your daughter make you food too? Especially when they get to that age, isn't it, Kiki? And they can put in the air fryer. It's a lifesaver, isn't it? Mummy's not well. You gotta love your kids, man. That's why when they say, oh, they don't have kids at 42, oh, whatever, bitch. These kids start coming useful, child. They help us with the housework. Yeah, they help us to cook, innit? What do you mean, man? You got your own little best friend. It's amazing. It's hard work, don't get me wrong. But when they start getting older and it becomes a lot easier, and you've got like this best friend, you know, that's just like you. And my eldest daughter, she's just, oh my gosh, she's half me and half her dad. So it's a dangerous mix. I can't lie, man. She definitely has the half Nigerian, half, you know, Caribbean. It's really down the line. I don't know, her husband. I just hope she's gonna have to go for someone really masculine. I'm glad I had my daughter at 21. She's my life. Yeah, that's how I feel, girl. You know, I had my first at 25, and I never used to think it was young. But, you know, as I've started to deconstruct and come out and whatever, I've realized, oh, I was a young mum. You know, when I see her now, she's getting older, and I'm like, I'm not actually that old. I had her young. But in the cult, they make you feel old, innit? So I felt like I was old getting married at 25 and being pregnant with my first child. And I felt like a Mother Hubbard when I was getting married. They made me feel old in there. That's another thing that they do as well. They devalue women with age because they see us as a commodity in there, like a slave, like cattle. So they indoctrinate the men to desire like the young women because they want the men to marry like the young women, and then the older women are like desperate. So they become more codependent on the past, and for finding them a husband is sad. And guys, I think I'm going to end on that. We were supposed to be talking about accountability, but it's been a wicked live. I've loved it. Thank you, Instagram, for you guys being on here. Thank you, TikTok. I appreciated you guys for my gifts, for my likes. It's been absolutely amazing. And thank you, YouTube, for being there, for answering questions, for holding the space for me, guys. I absolutely adore you. I'm going to be back on later, Kiki. So it's an intermediate goodbye, child. I'm going to be back on. What I want to say, guys, I've got such a bad cold. What I want to say is, if you want to watch the full recording, I've got it on my YouTube. It's Leah Lauder 777, I think. I've got it on my YouTube, and I've also got it on Instagram. So if you want to rewatch the live, it's about a 1.5 hour recording. You can go back, and a lot of people have been asking me to do podcasts. I'm going to get back onto my podcast, guys, because I do need to do it up. So I will start looking into doing up the podcast from today, because I can't even remember. I think I'm on Podbean, guys. Have a look for Leah Lauder. I've done one podcast on there, so have a look, because I do need to do that up and promote it. And so the 2025, I think it's going to be my podcast and streaming year and stuff. So yeah, so if you want to go and check out my YouTube, please subscribe. Please subscribe on my YouTube, guys, because that is like the main platform that I want to start moving us into 2025. So please do follow and subscribe. And if you come across this video, please do give me a subscribe. And Kiki's also said that she's heard I'm writing a book. Yes, I am. I'm writing a book. And I don't want to give away anything, guys, because there's so many thieves, man. So many people are trying to ride off the back of what I've been doing. And that's why I feel like I need to get a piece out for the survivors, because I've done a lot of talking in the last year, and I've got to the point now where I've got my diagnosis, I'm healing, I'm in a good space. So I'm at a mindset now where I can start to write the book. And it's very, very interesting. And already, remember I told you I've created this pyramid scheme type of structure model that shows the different levels of rank in the cult and how they recruit. And so, you know, guys, it's just going to be a really good resource. I just think that anybody that comes across this book, that they will be able to deconstruct and deprogram, at least to a point, to still the psychological trauma and voices in the head. So that's at least what I want it to do, so that people can start to take their life back and take their power back. And I do believe that with this book, it's my intention over the book, you know, that people will be set free, that that they will be deprogrammed and deconstructed. So I believe it. I'm putting my faith and the intention into it, that it will do just that, and it will. So thank you so much, guys. I don't even want to come off, but I've got to go sort out my child's hair. I've got to do up her birthday hair, guys. And you know, she's a diva. It's going to take me hours, child. But yeah, so I love you all. I'm going to be back on later. I don't know what time, guys, because I don't know how long this hair is going to take me, but it might be like lunch type of vibes. So look out for me then, yeah. Love you guys. I'm gonna come off YouTube. Love you guys. Bye, guys. Thanks for logging in. And then I'm gonna say bye to